Cool. It's going.
Okay, so this is our debate from the Week 4 group, Media to Mediation. So the debate topic should be, should gamification be used to teach literacy? This is the affirmative side and this is the non-affirmative side, the negative side. We do have Alicia Davis here, but she couldn't be here today, and we're not going to have an adjudicator due to numbers, so we're just going to kind of have a bit of a discussion / debate, and then you guys can be the judge. So the affirmative side go first, so take it away.
First speaker, Naomi Dean.
Yeah, you go.
Alright, so a good thing about gamification is that it provides students with a way to be creative. So it's not just sitting and doing literacy in the traditional sense, it has a bit more of a competitive edge, and it's just a different way for them to learn, which would be engaging for different students with different learning abilities and different ways they like to learn. And we just feel that'd be more meaningful to students and more meaningful way for them to explore their content of English.
Okay, now we maybe put it back.
Just on that point as well, with gamification and engaging all students and catering for learning, if students are not familiar with the game culture, they may not be engaged in use of games in the classroom learning.
It's hard because not all of the students nowadays have that far experience. I think they have a low socioeconomic, so I know that is generalising, but that's just sort of saying.
Still good point to make.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So one of the other things is, are you sure we can talk about this? Oh yeah. Sorry. So competition through gamification often encourages students to do their work and do it well, so they try and be better than each other. Competition is a really good thing in schools, when kids become more engaged through that process. I know that when I'm competing for something, I want to win, so I do my best job possible. Anyway.
Okay. Well, we were just going to say back to that. It's I was just going to say back, like it's basically, I know teachers have to do a lot of preparation and things like that, but I think it's really hard. I don't know where I was going. I was just going to say, let's just ignore what I said before, but talking about creating these lessons, are they actually appropriate yet? Like they could be engaging, but are they actually, are the students learning anything? Dave McKen would be so proud of us for bringing up this topic, but like, we're not trying to distract them, we're trying to actually teach them. So instead of just playing with dice, if they were playing a game, and what are they actually learning from the dice? What skills are they learning? Like that's just a really general example. But I guess you just got to make sure, like, is it a distraction, or are they actually learning something from participating in that game? Yes, we do want to engage all students and make them want to interact, but at the same time, you need to actually learn something from doing it. So.
And it can mean that students will only become motivated, like if there is that competition and rewards, and then they need then that game kind of reward to become motivated to do tasks.
So today's society also is changing and developing from when employees were working decades ago. And so technology and games and everything are evolving, and they're becoming real life scenario for many kids. Like they go home and they play games and everything all the time. So gamification in the classroom is great, as it's building on these home skills, and it's allowing kids the opportunity to express themselves and become competent in maybe creating their own games within the classroom and expressing and exploring these skills, which they can then put into their life outside of school and into their careers down the track and become game technicians, etc. So, yeah.
Another point in terms of gamification being a bit on the negative side, is that a good way of putting it?
Yeah.
I have a prior experience with it in terms of a crack where I've seen it be put in place in terms of there being about 3-4 computers in the classroom, and children at their own time being able to access these computers if and when they complete their tasks, and they would complete math and English activities online, but most of the children in the class never really reached that stage because of the way they were doing their activities, so that they might have finished. So therefore, probably half the kids in a class probably wouldn't have access to time on the computers and being able to use it if it wasn't like a computer lesson or something.
So it's a reward for some, but a punishment for others.
Yeah. So
it's also, it's also like it can cause like addictive and compulsive behaviour. Like we see like society now that so many kids already have mobile phones and are playing games and stuff all the time, and that can be detrimental to their learning as well, rather than just assisting in their learning and making it.
Or going on with that, it's like planning and preparation takes a lot of time, but if you're creating these games, that takes a lot more thinking than just giving them a black line masters worksheet, and they've done that. Whereas some students, basically, it's so hard that these games are going to need work and that it's taking up so much time, you can't always present such a great lesson, and some kids may not want to like participate in it because it's not, they've got to go back to doing a worksheet. I don't know how you sort of...
And so there's some kids might feel left out because they haven't been able to have that time with gamification in the classroom, so they just wouldn't be able to experience it compared to other students who would be able to, as well as students who come from homes who have access to computers and the opportunity to play the education games online.
Another thing is it promotes group work and collaborative skills, and also problem solving skills, so they're not just reading a sheet and answering the questions, there's a lot more involved in it. So it goes a bit further and a bit deeper.
I think it's a good way to be non-threatening. So if the students perhaps don't feel really comfortable putting their hand up in class and answering questions, by being able to practice their skills in a game sense, it's just a bit more encouraged to do that and not feel worried or embarrassed by the answers. So it's just more non-threatening for them to practice if they're not terribly comfortable with literacy.
And then just another thing we were discussing, sometimes about cultural competence and things like that. Like some cultures maybe
And inclusive cultures.
we need to be mindful of cultures, especially if we have a culturally diverse class, which a lot of us will be.
Yeah.
Not every student will, like, due to cultural hindrances, not cultural hindrances, guidelines maybe, expectations.
I think, yes, some cultures, it's just not expected that you play games at school. School's designed to be to learn in certain ways.
Brethren, children, they don't have computers at home. And so perhaps maybe at school they're not allowed to go on computers. I don't know if that's a different thing, but if that, so be mindful of that.
Or may not have like those kind of resources at home and therefore aren't as familiar with it. So they're
part of
the other students are a step ahead of them, they already have that knowledge, so therefore they're kind of being disadvantaged in a sense. So if it's not implemented effectively, then it can cause like setting up other students to be more successful or achieve higher than others.
Okay, well I guess, we didn't have an educator, but I guess we've learned a lot about it, and this is just a few points that we've learned from it, various both positives and negatives for each one. So that's our debate for this week, I guess.
Cheers.
Okay. And then while we're here, do you want to feedback?
We'll just do separate ones.